Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Madden 17 Road to Glory. And I'm getting a few of these more out recently. Hopefully you guys have noticed that, and it's because I'm enjoying playing the game quite a lot at the moment, to be perfectly honest. But there are two new players out who I do want to mention. So we've got a player who I actually really like. I'm thinking of, I'll pick him up when his price has dropped a little bit, I think. At least I think I'll pick him up anyway. But we got a new Ultimate Legend, Bob Sanders, who looks absolutely insane. I mean, I was thinking about picking up his 95 earlier this week, but got the limited version and you got the set version. I'll just look at the limited version just for the sake of getting the best card on screens. But if you look at those stats, he is ridiculous. His card looks absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I still use the Legend one in my team now, so if you look at the upgrades across the board, plus 6 speed. If you get all his chems to tier 2, he gets 98 speed. So in the system I run, in the 4-4, I could put him in place in the middle, where I currently have Harrison Smith. I'll show you the team in a little bit. I've changed a few positions around, but we currently have Harrison Smith there. But I think Bob Sanders will be very good, because Smith doesn't really get any interceptions. He sort of just lurks, and if they're thrown over the middle, he'll bat the ball down, or he'll give people a really hard, big hit to knock the ball loose. And he'll sort of just lurk around the middle and make sure nothing is given up over the middle. And he's very versatile against the run in there as well. So I prefer to play the safety in the box, which is why Kraus wasn't that good for me, because he's obviously a deep safety. You only use him as a deep safety. But Bob Sanders, I think, would be very good for me. 97 acceleration, which goes up to 99. 96 player ec, which I believe goes up to 99 as well. 90 tackle, and that hit power goes to 99 as well. So he looks absolutely unreal as a card. We also got Hutchinson as a left guard. I believe they put him in as Hutchinson. And, I mean, I'm quite happy with my line at the moment. I think they perform very well as they are. I mean, I know that's secure passer. I don't think it makes much difference, to be honest, because I did have Whitworth and Conklin as my tackles, and ever since I changed to Taylor Decker and Eric Williams, it hasn't changed. I mean, I haven't given up any more sacks, so I don't think secure passer makes too much difference, but his stats, once again, phenomenal. I mean, this is an endgame card. If you can get this card, if you can get it relatively cheap, you're not going to get a better left guard until the end of the game. I don't think, anyway. He's obviously not the fastest, but if you want a purely just blocking left guard, if you're not going for pull-in plays or you're not going for things like that, he will be, I mean, he'll be unstoppable. 98 run block, 94 impact block, 98 pass block, 97 strength. You're not going to get better than that. But they're the two new Ultimate Legends. If you do want me to pick one up, let me know in the comments if you want me to do a review on one of them. At some point I can do that. I've got the Ultimate Legend badges, so I can pick up a set one. I'll sort of try and get the other cards a little bit cheaper, but they do really plummet in price over the past few days, so don't pick them up now. If you're thinking of picking them up, wait a few days. The price will significantly go down, and you'll be able to get one at a lot more reasonable price. But for the new additions, we've got Ezekiel Elliott in here at 98 overall. Very nice card. I mean, the Dallas Chem, I was trying to work out how I can get it up to tier 2. I mean, I don't think I can easily. I could obviously get rid of Kelvin Benjamin for Des Bryant or someone, which is what I might do. But I want to keep Steve McNair. I could get Dak Prescott in there. I'm going to keep McNair just for now, just because he hasn't done one bad throw for me yet. I don't think he's overthrown anything. I mean, I don't tend to go for too many deep passes, but he hasn't overthrown anything. And I mean, I can't complain about him, so I'm going to keep him for now. But on defense, I don't know who else we've put in from last time. I know Harrison Smith is in there, and I've got him. I've still got Sean Taylor, because Sean he's worth about 150k, and he is leveling off there, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep Harrison Smith. I managed to pick him up for 400k when the Easter promo packs were released, and he's already back up to around 600k, so I've made huge profit on him, and he's a very good card. So I'm thinking, I'm not sure whether I'll keep him or not, because I don't know how much of an upgrade over Sean Taylor he's been. He's been decent, but he hasn't been phenomenal. Obviously, he does go up to that 99 just with Field General activated. But that'll be it for the team. We've got 2 games today. I've already played the games, so I do know the outcome of them. But one game is absolutely ridiculous, and in the other one, I think is the best I've ever played. So definitely stick around for them. hopefully you guys, do enjoy the episode. Have enjoyed it up to this point. A little bit of a recap of the Ultimate Legends. If you have enjoyed it, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. But for now, we'll jump into the game. So guys, moving into the gameplay. We're coming up against someone who obviously values his offensive line pretty highly, because his top 3 players are actually offensive linemen, which isn't something you see very often, especially considering he didn't actually focus on running the ball that much. I mean, he did run the ball every now and again, but not as much as you'd expect someone whose top 3 players are linemen. And we bait him into a very nice user pick early on there. Fake the blitz up the middle, cut back, see the drag route going across field, and we're going to pick that off nicely to get the possession back in our favour. So it's like we're starting with the ball in both halves of the game, which is fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the ball with Ezekiel Elliott. We just got him in the team as the first, well, not the first good running back I've had this year, but the first running back I think I'm going to stick with for a little while this year, because he is a very good card. He's fast, he's elusive, and that Energizer, what's it called? Energizer chemistry will, what I tend to do a few more user moves here and there, which, Energizer gets him more stamina, which means he'll be able to do a lot more moves for me when he's running through. But my opponent, on his first drive, he's going to the out route, and I'm not sure exactly what happened there. 24, I think, is Willie Brown, decided he didn't want to tackle my opponent, and as you saw, just nothing happened and he picked up the nice gain. So we do sort of figure out his offense a little bit. He's going to go for the C route. I know he's going to go with it. I put someone in the zone who should be covering it, and they don't, which is quite frustrating. And I know that's going to be his go-to when he needs big yardage. So in situations like 3rd and long, I'm going to make sure I cover the C route wherever possible. Dontari Poe with a nice sack there, so I know he's going to go with the C route here. As you can see, I'm backing people up. I've put people in the right zone. I'm going cover 4 with people in purples and deeps on both sides. They should be covering that. Unfortunately, actually he didn't go with the C route. Or did he? I'm not exactly sure there. I didn't see what route he went with. But he did pick up, he nearly picked up the first down and just ran it in for a first down. My user in wasn't on point after early on in this game, just because he was dumping it to the flats so often. I was kind of trying to gamble on them where I could, and when I saw it wasn't going there, I was already out of position in the middle, and he was taking advantage of that. So his offense did get better. First play of the game, he was trying to play it safe. Luckily I jumped onto it, but as you can see, once again, to the out route, it's picking up yardage. It's very, very hard to stop that unless you press, and at this point I should be pressing his receivers. I'm not sure why someone in the middle didn't put a hand up there to stop that going over, but he does get the touchdown. Quite unfortunate. It is 7-7, but I know I have more than enough time to score. I'm going to run the ball where I can, because obviously he's thinking I'm going to pass every single play. But Ezekiel Elliott out of the backfield, nice catch in there, going to get us 6 yards, and as you can see, up to the 38, slowly driving down the field. Going to go back to the run, and we're going to fight off the first tackle there and pick up some nice yardage. And bruising back is something that I do like in my running backs, but Ezekiel, if he had bruising back instead of the Energizer, he'd be worth so much more. Unfortunately, he's not a trucking back. His trucking isn't bad. It's in the 80s, but it'll get the job done. And what I was doing on these plays here is, if you've noticed, I've got 3 receivers on the left-hand side are actually my tight ends. So all my blocking tight ends as well. We've got Peters, Gronkowski, and McDonald there, and they're going to give very nice room. I could have been away there. For some reason, I thought if I can cut outside and round that last defender, I'll be free instead of just going straight forward. And that did cost me a little bit, because it forces us into a 4th and 3rd situation here. 4th and 3 situation, sorry. And I'm going to go with the slants just because they're trusty in situations like this. One of them will be open. If not, Ezekiel Elliott will be open. And Kelvin Benjamin over the middle is open. Picks up the 4 yards we need. And I just want to make it a 2-possession game, because I get ball at half. Very nice throw there to Larry Fitzgerald. And that's why I can't get rid of McNair. And to be honest, Fitz is definitely putting in work for us in the team. Very, very solid receiver, which is what I like. He's not a deep threat. He's just solid, and you know when you throw the ball to him, he's going to come down with it 9 times out of 10 over defenders. Saying that, Antonio Brown as well, someone I'm not that keen on for some reason, but he does pick up yards, when you need them. But back to the run game we go. So I'm trying to mix it up between running, going with the slants, and just going with other plays, because I've just changed playbook to the Saints playbook, because it's got the formation that I need for the strong power, which is this run. And it's not particularly overpowered, it's just if you have the right blockers out there, it just does damage. As you can see there, it did ridiculous damage against my opponent, and we score yet again with Zeke. I mean, this guy was just going to cover 3 all game. And that play will pretty much solidly pick up 4 to 5 yards against cover 3. So it might not be the best thing or the most glamorous thing in the world, but it will grind you out wins if you need it. Because a lot of people in this game just play cover 3 a hell of a lot of the time. I fell for the play action there. Luckily, my team didn't, and we should have got a pick. Unfortunately, we don't. But in this play here, he launches it straight. Oh no, he doesn't launch it straight. He actually gets hit. And then on this play, I'm going to send in a nickel blitz because I haven't sent one in yet, and I know they're very overpowered. And I know Malcolm Butler's just going to run around his left tackle because he'll be caught up on my lineman. I just have to make sure I cover everything for 1 or 2 seconds. I do, and we get a sack. So it's in the 4th quarter. I'm up 2 possessions, potentially going to make it 3 possessions. Ezekiel Elliott breaks off a tackle nicely there. Nice little spin move, gives him a little bit of energy. Would have been gone there if it wasn't for the safety. But that is the end of the first game. He ends up quitting, and I think that was the most strategically well-played game I've done all year. So this game coming up, we're going against someone who doesn't have as good a team as us. I didn't actually show it. He did have quite a low overall team. I think it was maybe just hitting 90. So people who think about like the equaliser exists, this game will prove otherwise. You'll see some of the catches my players come down with. They come down with catches they shouldn't. As you can see here, Antonio Brown, he was wide open in it. He did badly use of that. So that one obviously he was always going to come down with that. But this catch here from Kelvin Benjamin, his catches like this, they shouldn't happen. As you can see, he's got 3 guys around him, and he still comes down with that. I know he has higher catch in traffic, but that was ridiculous. But my opponent wasn't bad, necessarily. As you can see, he forces us a 3rd and goal here. I was just trying to run it in, and he was stopping it pretty much every play. But we do end up getting at the touchdown there. So I'm only going to show sort of a few key plays here and there from this game. You'll see by the end scoreline why. Otherwise this video would be going on for absolutely ages. But we're already 7-0. Nearly got a safety there. Fortunately for him, Cam did fall outside the end zone. But on this play, I'm just going to send a nice little bit of heat. He has to throw it quickly. And we get a very nice user pick over the middle of Bobby Wagner. Don't like User and Wagner too much just because he's only 6 foot and he plays more than well enough by himself. But I thought I would on that play. Comes up big and we end up getting a touchdown with Olsen straight afterwards. So my opponent, I think if he didn't score here, it would have been game over. As you can see, he's got a few people. He's got 1 guy going deep. DRC should have that pick and he just decides to stand there and do absolutely nothing. I didn't click on him because that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. But it ended up happening anyway. Quite annoyed at that we actually gave up a touchdown to this guy, considering his players. As you can see, if Larry Fitzgerald is a lot faster than my opponent's cornerbacks, that's when you know he's just been absolutely mismatched in overall, because he's not fast, Larry Fitz. But anyway, I knew he was going to go cover 4 this play, just keeping spamming it every now and again. And this play always beats cover 4, the PA post shot I think it's called. Larry Fitz, wide open in the end zone, gets a very nice touchdown for us. So we're up 20-6. And to be honest, it was purely team that was getting me this. As you can see, the team are just making plays. I think that was Bobby Wagner yet again coming up with a pick, and we did end up scoring. I'm not going to show every touchdown. It's things like that. He should not be dropping that. That was an easy catch, and for some reason he just didn't come down with it. And then we end up coming down with catches like this. As you can see, play action. I'm just going to lob it up there. Why not? Possession catch with Larry Fitz, not even a spec catch, and he ends up coming down with it. So it's 32-6. I'm just getting picks here, there, and everywhere. You can see, to be honest, that was entirely his fault. Bobby Wagner with his 3rd pick of the game. Absolutely insane, this Bobby Wagner card. If you haven't tried him, definitely give it a go. Nice little cut over the middle there with Olsen for another touchdown. And we're getting towards the end of the video now. I'm going to cut out a lot of the touchdowns. I'm just going to try and get one more nice little pick with DRC there. Could have got into the end zone, decided to do a spin move because I thought I was miles free. You know, I had lots of space. And actually the game ended 78-6. So very, very unfair game for my opponent there. I felt quite sorry for him. But anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you have, or if you want me to pick up any certain players next episode, do let me know and I'll do it down in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed the episode, drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys soon.